Welcome back to the Dental Hygiene Basics podcast. My name is Dana. I am your host. Always excited to be here. And it's so funny. Every time I record one of these, now I'm doing video podcasts and I end up posting these clips on social media and I schedule them out months in advance with the help of my amazing friend and hygienist who is just behind the scenes. Laura, thank you for editing these podcasts and for creating the clips and getting it all out there. I have to give you a big shout out. Like I said, she is a dental hygienist full time, and she's also working with me behind the scenes here, keeping the show on the road, which I greatly appreciate. And anyways, so she's scheduling this stuff out months in advance. I record months in advance. And every time they roll out on socials, every single time I'm like, you know what? Maybe next time I'll put on some makeup. I'll fix the old hair. The hair is semi-fixed today, but I get my best inspiration usually. I don't know. It just comes out of the blue and I just have to hop on and have these conversations. And I'm the type of I don't want anything to slow me down. I don't want to put on mascara. I want to go record. So here I am showing up as myself. This is, just exciting for me to have a platform to be able to do this. And this journey into entrepreneurship, putting myself out there, the visibility aspect, becoming a bigger speaker, doing all sorts of stuff that pushes me outside of my comfort zone. Seriously, every single day. It's been quite the journey. And when I look at my life and I really reflect back and I think, when was the last time I really felt like this? And it was in dental hygiene school where I just felt like every day I was being pushed and I was uncomfortable. But the growth that occurred through those 2 years in dental hygiene school, it was just absolutely insane. And it really kickstarted a journey in my life of things being very, very different. And I approach life entirely different now because of my experiences in dental hygiene school. And I think that is a good thing. Sometimes dental hygiene school, it's rough. It's not always all good, but I really do think that if you embrace that discomfort and you start living your life on the precipice of discomfort, I always say I live 50% fearful and 50% fearless at all time. It just depends on which way the wind blows. Like, am I going to be scared today or am I going to be like pushing forward? It's a tough balance to navigate, but when you're going through dental hygiene school, I am going to challenge you to push into that fearlessness. Just be like, this is what's happening. No matter the outcome, I'm trying, I'm putting myself out there. And you will be so impressed with yourself and the amount of growth that you have throughout the entire process that I think it's something you'll carry with you the rest of your life. If you make it through dental hygiene school, a lot of other things aren't going to seem so hard and scary. You've probably heard stories on my podcast where people talk about, myself included, my master's program, where I had to write 4 to 5 papers a week on a whim, was easier than my dental hygiene program. No joke. Okay. So if you can get through dental hygiene school, you can get through anything. But I really want to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome today. I actually recorded an episode on imposter syndrome a while back. I think it was earlier in the year here, but I want to really touch on it again because I think sometimes we can hide behind our comfort in order to not experience that discomfort, which again starts to make you feel like, I'm an imposter. What am I doing here? I can't do this. I don't even know how to hold an instrument. I'm going to fail my exam tomorrow. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to see a patient. All of those little negative thought spirals that come up over and over again in your brain as you're going through dental hygiene school, it's normal. It is what it is. We all feel that way. I feel that way every single day of my life. Every day I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? And the thing is, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, it's hard, but it does get easier with time. Okay. So the reason why I want to record this episode today is not just to focus on the imposter syndrome. Again, I've already done an episode on that not too long ago, but I want you to think about your life and look at your life through a lens. Especially, let's say that you're listening right now and you are thinking about becoming a dental hygienist, or maybe you're nearing graduation and you're like, what comes next for me? If you're in the messy middle of dental hygiene school right now, this conversation may not feel like it's for you, and that's okay, but we can take something out of anything. So hopefully you still get a good message from today. If everything you're doing is feeling comfortable, you might not actually be growing. And again, I say this through the lens like dental hygiene school, nothing feels comfortable. Every day feels uncomfortable, right? But if you're considering going to dental hygiene school, or maybe again, if you're getting ready to graduate, there's going to come a time in your life where everything kind of just is rolling, right? It's going the way that it should. It's kind of what you set up. And if you never kind of stop to think, what comes next or what would push me or what would help me grow, it's really easy to kind of just fall into doing the same thing every single day and not making any changes. I'm not saying that you have to make changes in your life if you're really happy and things are going great. That's great. But I usually find that we hit a point where we feel kind of called to make a change, make an adjustment. And the thing is, when you're going through a moment of change or growth, you have that imposter syndrome. The thing is, you slow yourself down sometimes because you feel like I'm not really ready. I'm not qualified. I can't do this. I'm experiencing that right now. Okay, I'll give you an example. This really last year has been a big year for me. I know I've talked about a lot my healing journey. I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I had a hysterectomy, and I felt really called to slow down, back off. And really, what I felt my intuition was telling me was you got to get back on track, right? You got to get your systems in place so that you can be ready for the next big thing that's going to come. And I trust and believe that the next big thing is around the corner. I do know that. The thing is, I'm getting to a point now where I've really just been focusing on my to do list. Okay. And the to do list has been pushing me because I have had to learn a lot of new things. This to do list is crazy. It's like, how do I edit podcasts better? How do I, schedule better for social media? How do I create videos? How do I learn? I've been learning and learning and learning every single day. Honestly, it's exhausting. So I get it. If you're in dental hygiene school, you're like, I'm sick of learning. I'm like, I totally get it because it does. It just feels like the to do list never ends. Okay. But the thing is, at some point, you do kind of start to get the hang of things. All right. So for me, for particular right now, I'm getting the hang of getting ahead on my content. I'm getting it scheduled. I'm getting better at editing. I have a plan in place. It's like, okay, on this day, at this time, I'm doing this, this, and this. It's starting to get better, right? And I'm getting the hang of it. And now these tasks aren't taking as long. And now I'm in a rhythm, right? And it's like, wow, that feels really good, that rhythm. You're like, I've got my to-do list of what needs to get done today. I know how to do all of it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm checking the boxes. I get that dopamine hit. I feel good, right? I accomplished what I set out to do today. The thing is, I could see myself setting up this really perfect system, doing it every single week, right? Run of the mill, same thing, and just getting so good at it that there's no longer a challenge or that I stop really pushing myself to learn new things or grow, right? You get out of this season and you're kind of like, okay, everything's done. Like, I don't need to grow anymore. The thing is, I want you to challenge that. The thing with imposter syndrome is you feel like you're being pushed into something that you're not quite ready for. And you're just like, things need to slow down. I need to back up. I need to get better at this. I need to get stronger at that. I need to slow down, return, go back to the basics. Sometimes if you're like me, you may feel like I need to start all over. I need to go back to the beginning of dental hygiene school and I need to start all over, right? The thing is, when you're being pushed like that, you are in an active growth season. If you are in the season where you're just checking boxes and getting things done, you're just not there, right? And I don't want your life and your to-do list of getting things done because you feel comfortable to end there. I want you, when you get out and graduate from school, or if you're applying to school right now, and you're thinking, okay, I'm on a schedule, right? Like if you're graduating, you're like, okay, I got my job. I wake up, I go to work, I do those things, right? Check, check, check. I did everything I was supposed to do today. The day is done. That's a really great feeling. And you owe it to have seasons in your life where you feel that way. But when the moment comes that you feel called, again, to step into something new, don't let the comfortable be what holds you back from moving into that uncomfortable spirit and time in your life. It's scary. It's hard. But that is where life changes. That is where you feel the most proud of yourself, right? When you look at the times where you were scared and you did it anyways, right? That's how I feel. Are you scared? Okay. Are you doing it anyways? Great. Keep going, because life is what is standing on the other side of that fear. It's just something I've been experiencing so much lately. I feel right now, I'm very aware that my body is trying to protect me. It's not ready to move into more discomfort, into a bigger season of growth that's going to push me and challenge me and be super, super scary. I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe this is like, I think I'm talking to myself right now. I'm going to do it anyways, right? Because again, embracing the discomfort. And that's something that I really wish I think it's almost my MO. It's something that I'm trying to get students to do every single day, whether it's me having a conversation with a student through social media, or whether it's a video I put out or a podcast I put out, or my students that I'm tutoring. I am always trying to push them further than they thought they could go. And the thing is, when you have a coach, you have someone on your side, someone who can help make that push. It really helps, right? Because I always tell my students, I can't be the one that believes in you more than you believe in you, right? I can, and I'll help, and I will try and drag you across that finish line of dental hygiene school. But you got to get on the same field as me, right? You got to get on that same energy that whatever you want is possible and you can do it. You just have to be okay with being scared at the same time. You have to be okay with not being good, with not having all the answers, with having to learn new things and feeling scared that you're not learning them fast enough or right enough or well enough. I want you to keep pushing yourself through those moments of imposter syndrome. I know that you can do this. You are incredible. You're talented. What's meant for you will never pass you by. You just have to keep taking each day one step at a time. And when that gets overwhelming, 1 minute at a time. And when that gets overwhelming, one breath at a time. Okay. The thing is, just don't stop moving forward. I am here for you on this journey. If you have any questions, struggles, please feel free to reach out to me. You know where I'm at on socials at Dental Hygiene Basics. Shoot me a DM. Even if you just need a word of encouragement, I am here for you guys. If you're really going through it right now, head down to the show notes. I have a link there. It's called the Dental Hygiene Hurdle. It's just a little thing to kind of help get you back on track. Every dental hygiene student has a hurdle that they have to overcome. If you download that, you get a free guide. You also will get added to our newsletter list so that you can stay up to date with all of the things that we're doing here at Student RDH, but regular tips and tricks. And you'll never miss a podcast episode, which is super important because we are here to help keep you going. Okay. All right, everyone. I hope you have an incredible day. Best of luck on your journey. Future registered dental hygienist.